Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Welcome to Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams on an absolutely beautiful day. Tell the boss you're going to leave work and you have an important meeting to go to because today's the day to enjoy the weather outside in the sunshine. We're going to be talking shortly about the Better Business Bureau and 5 myths for businesses. We're going to be talking about all that jazz. The Spokane Jazz Orchestra is going to be here and talking about what they're up to. We're going to talk about marmots. Well, not exactly. Marmot Media is going to be here. And if you're into gaming and want to hear more about a local company that's working on that, you'll get a chance to do that. This week with Pia Hallenberg, plus McNeese Wheeler and the Independent Wealth Connection will be here next on Spokane Talks Live.
For the Inland Northwest's most comprehensive sports report, think outside the porch with spokesman.com. For just 99 cents for the first month, you'll enjoy unlimited digital access to the news and sports news that affect you most. From EWU to WSU, from Northwest Preps all the way to the Seahawks, we're the local authority that makes sports in the Inland Northwest different than the rest, better than the rest. On your phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. Subscribe to the digital experience with spokesman.com.
My name is Randy James. I'm the founder and director of the Institute of Science and Technology at North Central High School. Kids are far more capable than we ever give them credit. We have $1 million worth of equipment, and we let them use it. You give them a place to play and do science for real. Instead of having to outsource engineers and scientists and mathematicians, we have kids right here. It takes a whole community to raise children. It really does. STCU invests in the community, and they're a longtime supporter of education. Collectively, we can make a huge difference. I'm Randy James, and STCU is here for good.
You hear us say it.
We are tracking breaking news in Spokane County where firefighters...
We're talking exclusive.
I want to be the survivor and someone that reaches out and helps other people.
These stories you'll only see here.
My family's safe because he is off the streets.
This interview.
What is it like being a teenager nowadays?
This investigation. This moment for the first time.
I hope our apartment doesn't burn down.
We don't just cover breaking news, we own it.
Pretty scared, thought we weren't going to make it through.
KHQ Local News, right now.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. Hey, Kevin, what's the weather like outside? What's the temperature? Warm? It's behind you there on the screen.
72 degrees.
72 and warm. Okay, you're really accurate. This is what happens when Colin takes the day off and we don't get all I can say is get outside. Watch this program, then get outside, folks. Kirsten Davis from the Better Business Bureau. There is so much going on. It's that time of year, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah. It does seem like, proverbial everything comes out of the woodwork, and
the snow's gone, and so
especially with the winter that we had, I think everyone is just busting at the seams.
I hope the word "had" is what Mother Nature is listening to. Okay.
I think we're pretty safe. But
Okay.
Stranger things have happened.
Well, I think I've told the story before, taking the whole family down to L.A., and we're at my parents' house and reading the L.A. Times that morning, and above the fold was a picture of the snowy little town called Spokane.
Of course,
This is like the 3rd or 4th of May, about this time.
Oh, yeah.
About 25, 30 years ago, but Anyway, 5 myths that small businesses should be aware of.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a good time to share some cybersecurity information. It is National Small Business Month.
Right.
So these are some great tips for small businesses and just some of those misconceptions sometimes. So the first one I wanted to talk about, the myth is that smaller businesses are not at risk for cyber attacks, right? So I think we have the perception that, I'm not networked, I'm
They're
small.
Going after the big guys.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And the reality is that 1 in 4 businesses are affected.
Okay.
And 60% of all cyber attacks that happen have an average loss or cost of over $7,000.
Wow.
So that is a big chunk as for any business, really, but especially for those small businesses.
Yeah, especially if you're struggling to pay the bills and pay payroll and everything else. $7,000 can kill you, actually.
And it's never going to. It's typically not something that you budget for.
No.
It's something that comes at you from left field.
Yes.
And can cause you. I mean, the money is one thing, but the time and the business and all of those things, in addition, can be really difficult to deal with.
And the fear that it now generates, knowing that someone has hacked you.
Exactly.
It's like the robbery and burglary in your home. Someone's been through it and they've messed with your drawers and
you feel violated and vulnerable.
Right.
Well, and I think it also sometimes when something like that happens and you didn't have a plan in place and it did really catch you off guard, you tend to rush in to fix it, and sometimes
that's not the best.
you just do whatever you think you can do rather than taking a little bit of time to say, okay, what's the best course for me and my business? So you want to think about that too if that should happen to you. So another speaking of which, another myth is that small business owners can't protect against cyber attacks.
Okay.
The reality is that 6 out of 10 small businesses do have a plan in place, which is fantastic.
Okay, that's good.
So you can eliminate breaches. The reality is that breaches, everyone is susceptible at some point.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're the government. I don't care if you're a Fortune 500 company. Everybody is,
or a candidate running for office.
If you're Gmail or if you are, Netflix, it doesn't matter who you are. You are susceptible at some point. But the big thing is, if and when that does happen, is to have a plan in place.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that you have a security strategy, that you are acquiring insurance and IT expertise around that. Small business owners and operators, they're wearing so many hats.
Yes.
We can't expect them to be an accountant, a marketing executive, an HR executive, and an IT.
Exactly.
So those are all a lot of things that you have to enlist the help of experts.
Okay.
And so it's really it's a good idea to consult with an IT company, and there are a lot of IT companies out there that really cater to the smaller business.
Okay.
So yeah.
So it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg.
No, and that's the next point. See how these just flow together? Isn't that fantastic? So
and the truth is, I don't know what the 5 are.
I know. You're doing a fantastic job. So the next myth is that lack of resources is the number one reason small businesses don't invest in cybersecurity. Like we said,
they put it off for down the road somewhere or not at all.
Well, they think it's going to cost too much.
Oh, okay.
And it's not because they don't have the money to pay for it necessarily. It's that they have a lack of understanding as to how important it is.
Okay.
So that's part of our role. That's, there's a lot of agencies and collective organizations out there who want to work with small businesses to help educate them about what they can do and have a plan in place and where to start. That's a big thing is, where do I start? So any small business development organization, you're welcome. Businesses are welcome to contact.
I was going to say you have information,
absolutely.
Right? Is it online or?
Just go to bbb.org and just send us a message, and we will put you in contact with the right people to get you going down that road.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not that people don't want to pay for it or maybe don't have the funds. It's that they don't know where to start, and they don't know what they don't know.
Right.
Quite honestly.
Exactly.
And so they're kind of just going through it, the motions in the dark,
and hoping nothing happens.
Well, and not even being aware of what could possibly happen or how it will happen.
Right.
So that's the next thing. So you didn't give me a segue into the next one, but
cheap help here.
But the other myth is that if a small business is hit by a cyber attack, their financial institution would cover those losses.
Okay.
Now, I know as individuals, we know the difference between a debit card and a credit card, and if.
But I'm going to guess that this isn't the case for businesses.
Well, the reality is that the burden of proof still lies with you.
Okay.
So, and not the bank. So, if
you're still going to have to do paperwork and prove everything,
and
right?
prove where that you have to be able to track that.
Okay.
That breach. And if you're not able to do that and you can't prove to the bank that you had every measure in place to do this, then that's on you. So the scary thing about that is that for those businesses that were hacked, their average loss was over $32,000.
That's serious money.
That's serious money. Because think about those accounts that you have sitting in those business accounts. I mean, you're making capital purchases, you're doing payroll, you're doing those. They tend to be larger funds,
right?
And so, you know, you don't want to just kind of rest on the laurels that, oh, my bank is going to take care of it, because if they're going to come back to you and say, you have to prove that you had things in place on your end too,
right? So,
so that's something to keep in mind as well.
Okay.
And then,
go ahead.
No, okay, so no problem. So, so what happens if you're a business and you are hacked and maybe things are sent out via
go to church
your
and get
email.
on your knees.
Yeah. Well, take a deep breath first of all.
Okay.
And the thing that, you know, what is the first thing you should do in terms of communicating what has happened? And the first thing to do is not to contact your lawyer. While that should possibly, depending on the situation, could be a necessary move.
Right.
The first thing you want to do is to contact your customers and be transparent as to what has happened.
Good point.
Because what they really want is communication, and you want to reassure them that you are aware of what's happening. You are taking all the steps to, you know, find out as much information as you can, and
that you'll keep them posted,
and you will keep them posted. And please, you know, pay attention. I think even you know, as individuals, we get these notices that it always catches me off guard, because we think that those breaches are going to be discovered within a minute or two.
Right.
No, it's months later. Oh. So you want to start with being transparent with your customers, and then you can also call us to get information as
That's
to how
what I was
to
going to say. I heard two major things out of here. One is the prevention side, and you can be helpful there, meaning the Better Business Bureau.
Absolutely.
And the second is, if you're not prepared and this happens to you, God forbid, the Better Business Bureau can also help guide you. Much cheaper on the end of number one.
Prevention is always the better way to go.
And then you have a really tough website to find. It's bbb.org.
ORG. Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty difficult.
Kirsten, this is really helpful, because all of us, I mean, we're a small business. We all face this every day, and we kind of just push it down the line.
Well, we've got a lot on our
and I'm
plates.
not sure I'm asking my IT consultant the right questions.
Right.
So now
like I
can get information, and I can ask Jeffrey,
what is the checklist?
What do we have in place? What else do we need? Do I need to employ somebody else on contract to come in and do it? That's really helpful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you for coming down.
Absolutely.
You walked down today, right?
I did. It's you have to get outside. It is beautiful.
Yeah, as we sit in the studio with no windows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
no,
thanks.
Get out there and enjoy it.
Great. We're going to talk about the Spokane Jazz Orchestra right after this.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Hi, this is Kent Adams, co-host of Business Talks. I'd like to introduce you to a couple of friends, Lisa and Alan Gwaltney of Window World. I've known Lisa and Alan for a number of years and know them to be honest and caring folks. They take pride in their windows, sliding doors, and blinds. So when it comes to your home, call them direct at 509-456-5880. That's Window World of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And if you tell them Kent sent me, they'll give you 5% off a 5-window installation. Call them today at 456-5880.
Hi, this is Tom Sawyer of Tom Sawyer Country Coffee, and we're very excited to start our first year at our new location just on the north side of Kendall Yards. Come and enjoy a great cup of coffee and see the display of coffee memorabilia dating back to the 1800s. Or pick up a pound of our freshly roasted coffees to make at home. We're open Monday through Saturday starting March 5th, or find us at TomSawyerCountryCoffee.com. Come watch us perk up when you walk in.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams on this absolutely beautiful day. And we don't get any of the sunshine in here except a couple people from the Spokane Jazz Orchestra. And we have Mike Church. And Mike, you are on the board, right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. And Kelleran Milham? Milham, okay, all right. And what do you do?
I am a singer.
I figured you were in the entertainment side of things.
Yes, I'm an educator and a performer.
Doesn't Mike help?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, does he get up and sing?
We could right now in this moment.
Way back in my YMCA days, which will go back to like 40-some years ago, at camp, to get the kids to sing, I told them if they didn't sing really loud, they would hear me. That worked every time, okay? The elevation of the audio just went up like crazy. Guys, how is the orchestra doing, and what's coming down the line here?
Well, the orchestra is doing fantastic.
Good.
The most important thing that we wanted to share is the concert we have coming up this Saturday.
Ah, okay.
So we have our season finale, which features Kelleran, and what the jazz orchestra is doing is the music of Sting.
Ooh, okay.
And his jazz influences.
Yeah.
So this is a new direction that our music director, Don Goodwin, is taking us.
Okay.
Going into some of the contemporary
Getting
music.
outside the lines a little bit, huh?
Outside the lines a little bit.
Yeah, good.
To add to the rich history that the Spokane Jazz Orchestra has been providing to the Spokane community.
Now, this is a real asset to our community, and sometimes we don't hear enough about it. How many performances during the course of the year?
Well, it is an amazing asset for the Spokane community, and I refer to it as a hidden gem.
Yeah.
Because it is a gem and it's slightly hidden. And it's amazing the number of people that we invite to concerts that have never been to one of the performances before. Oftentimes walk in saying, I don't like jazz. And walk out saying, I love the Spokane Jazz Orchestra. But we've been around for 55 years.
Wow.
So the orchestra got its start in 1962 and went through a couple iterations, and then in 1975 started as the Spokane Jazz Orchestra. So we're in our 42nd year.
Wow.
And we put on, to get back to your original question, we put on 4 performances a year. But because we're a professional musical organization, all of our musicians are professional musicians, jazz musicians.
Well, then you and I can't sing, or...
You know, if we started doing that, I suspect the FCC would shut this shit down immediately.
Truly, if you think of, I mean, I can think of, off the top of my head, there are so many what you could consider to be jazz luminaries for Spokane.
Right.
And the only place that you are going to find them all under one roof is with the Spokane Jazz Orchestra.
Wow.
It is an incredible
experience. Now, how big is the
experience.
orchestra? When we talk about an orchestra, sometimes we think of a very small group, and then we think of the symphony, which is a larger group.
It's a traditional big band with 17 orchestra members.
17, okay.
And then when we have amazing talent like Kelleran come in, then we're 18.
Okay. Tell me about what you're planning to sing Saturday.
What I'm so excited about, and you were sort of speaking to this sort of foray to move out into doing the music of Sting, which of course, I mean, Sting has pulled so heavily from jazz traditions throughout, over the arc of his career. And I think just listening to the arrangements, it's such a perfect balance between really honoring sort of the classical tradition of big band jazz and really honoring Sting's compositions. It is going to be such a wonderful time. You know, a lot of, we're doing some things from the Police, Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, Wrapped Around Your Finger, where there's a lot that's going to be pulled from the Into the Night album, Bring on the Night. There's a particularly fabulous arrangement of Walking in Your Footsteps that I am just... So we're having such a good time.
I got to ask a professional here because, well, maybe you can answer this. What do you do to prepare for this before you first meet with the orchestra? To learn the music, to learn the words and all? I mean, I'm asking from somebody who cannot memorize 4 words, So, but to think about that pressure and so forth, to get to know those songs.
Well,
it's more than getting to know the words. It's
multiple layers. Multiple layers. So the first step was just kind of throwing back and forth ideas of what the set list might be. And then the second layer was going through the original charts and figuring out what's going to be the optimum key. And sort of.
Oh, you want to sing on key? That counts me out.
It's definitely a bonus.
Yeah.
And then from there, I spent, before I could get the charts and sort of hear the arrangements,
Right.
I really familiarized myself with the original pieces as Sting did them, because I really wanted to inhabit sort of how he improvises.
Okay.
And the intervals that he chooses. So really spent a lot of time with that. And then spending a lot of time with the charts and the arrangements as they are.
How much of this that you're going to be doing and jazz is improvisation?
You know, there's a certain amount. I get to do, so I perform mostly with my husband, Michael, and we are going to do an arrangement of Fragile. Just the two of us, and I do quite a bit of improvising there.
Fun.
Yeah, it's
Does
wonderful.
that get scary at all, or do you just really look forward to being able to get out there and be on your own a little bit?
I think being scared a little bit is always good early
Yeah?
on.
Okay.
It's always good early on because it really, like,
Makes
you want
you work
it to
at
be
it.
good. Well,
Yeah.
and think about it. We are talking about such a stellar organization.
Yeah.
I mean, the reputation of the SJO, and just, I mean, I really wanted, time to step up.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, as soon as we got into it, if you put in the work beforehand, then it's just fun.
Yeah.
We are having such a good time.
Oh, that's neat.
And there's going to be some audience participation.
Oh, Lord.
So
Okay.
please come. It's going to have
My
such a good
producer's
time.
already panicking in there. And if you're going, and finish the sentence. We're out of time, so let's tell people how they can get tickets and get more information, because that's the key.
Sure. Just a reminder, it's Saturday, May 13th, 7:30 p.m. at the Bing Theater.
Great place to take Mother.
It's the perfect
Right.
and probably the only Mother's Day present people should be buying.
Okay.
Perfect.
Is to this amazing event. Ticketswest.com.
Okay.
Okay. They're available there. All the information's on our
What's
website.
the price range? Do you remember?
The standard general admission is $25.
Oh, that's very reasonable.
An incredible bargain.
Yeah, it is. Great. Thank you for coming, for both
Thank
of you.
you for having us.
And let's get you back on late summer, early fall, and talk about almost at 19.
They have a great
2017,
season
18,
coming up.
and is the season, because this is good. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back to talk about marmots. Not quite what you think after this.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy. Enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
If you need a sign, banner, or business cards for your business, who do you call? Hi, this is Kent Adams.
And Tom MacArthur from Business Talks. Kent and I call Instant Sign Factory for our signs, banners, business cards, and more.
Dave at Instant Sign Factory is our go-to guy for printing, and he always does excellent work for us.
Check them out online. They've got an all-new website, InstantSignFactory.com.
Tell them Kent and Tom from Business Talks sent you. Instant Sign Factory.
You hear us say it.
We are tracking breaking news in Spokane County where firefighters...
We're talking exclusive.
I want to be the survivor and someone that reaches out and helps other people.
These stories you'll only see here.
My family say because he is off the streets.
This interview.
What is it like being a teenager nowadays?
This investigation. This moment for the first time.
I hope our apartment doesn't burn down.
We don't just cover breaking news, we own it.
Pretty scared, thought we weren't going to make it through.
KHQ Local News, right now.
Welcome back, Spokane Talks Live, and our previous guests and friends and kids are all leaving here. Goodbye. Hi, 4-year-old. Yeah, and you ask a 4-year-old, how old are you? And you get the answer with 4 fingers, okay? I've kind of forgot about that because most of my grandkids are now older than 4. We won't talk about how old. But anyway, okay, we have Mac Anderson and Ryan McIntyre.
Correct.
Was I close?
You were right.
Mac and Mac here.
That's right.
Okay, now, truth be known is I don't know that much about your business, except that I saw somewhere on Facebook or Twitter or something, and I figured if there was a Marmot Media in Spokane, I had to find out how much it had to do with the marmots in the park. Does it have anything to do with them?
Apart from inspiration,
Yeah.
not so
Not
much.
really. Okay, but
We train
that was your
marmots.
thinking when you kind of
We train marmots, and
Okay.
we're developing a battle armor for the Marmots.
Oh, God.
It's a work in progress.
Okay, now, we'll have you sit a little closer to the mic. Tell me what it is you guys do. You're fairly new.
We just incorporated a few weeks ago.
Oh, wow, that new.
Right. So we're an independent game developer.
Okay.
I've been doing.
So you
game
get
development
paid to play and develop games.
We'd like to get paid.
Okay.
Haven't crossed that bridge yet.
Yeah, I hear you. A lot of faith and all that coming down the road here, right? Well, welcome to setting up a new business. Okay. So your intention is to create new games.
Right. Yeah. And I think what sets us apart from some other game companies that we genuinely seek out engagement with the community.
I'm going to have you move your mic
sure.
just so you sound a little better, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay, let me grab my phone.
Right. Yeah, so we're genuinely interested in the community, and we have a lot of people that come up to us all the time and are interested in participating. And
now, how when you say participating, what do you mean by that?
In the design
as a non-gamer,
right.
Okay.
So you'd be perfect for some of the roles that we have. So, for example, when we develop a game,
you have a category for old people that don't understand games.
We do.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm perfect.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. So, perfect example. Like a lot of times, somebody says, "My kid loves games, and they'd love to be involved," and a lot of times I would say you would be perfect because I want to see like we like to hand somebody who doesn't know anything about games a build of our game and then watch how they might be frustrated and then make corrections that way.
And how easy is it to learn it and get
right. Yeah. And people have interesting feedback, and we never roll our eyes at ideas people have.
Oh, good.
So, yeah.
So far, I'm safe, right?
You're safe.
So far.
Yeah.
So far. Right. Yeah.
So now, you guys, what's your background? Because obviously you have some experience in this.
Yeah, I started doing games professionally in the 90s.
Okay.
And so I've worked on some really big titles, and I've worked at startups, and some of the titles I've worked on, FIFA, Blood Rain. You might not be familiar with
No, I'm not going to be.
Yeah.
Our producer is, okay?
Yeah.
All right,
so,
but he's 29 a couple of weeks ago.
So we've got experience with console, PC, Mac, brand new to mobile. That's a whole new challenge, and brand new to independent development. So it's really exciting. But that's my background. We have other folks on the team. And,
okay.
Yeah, I'm a content producer with Mac. My background is in audio production.
Okay.
I'm an IT guy by trade, so this is my side project.
Or a super nerd.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Okay. So how did you guys connect to start up a new business? Because that's really jumping off the cliff without the parachute, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've known each other for a long time, and we're friends, and collaborated on small projects.
Okay.
And so
then you said we can do this together.
Yeah.
If we put our heads together, and maybe even make some money.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's
the objective down the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you have computers and people to pay and everything else.
Sure. Yeah, and it's a competitive and crowded market.
Is it?
And so you really have to manage risk.
Okay. Risk like what?
Risk. So, for example, some companies that produce a game and they're funded, they may have a large multi-million-dollar budget, and the risk is if they don't keep producing a product that does well, they collapse.
Okay.
And so there's ways, game companies typically, they don't know that you have to either mitigate risk or accept it.
Okay.
They generally ignore it and just throw all their resources at it and say, okay, we're going to work on the next.
If we throw enough at it, one of them will work, right?
Right. And
Lord.
Yeah, I mean, we understand that. I've been through it with startups, and even some of the companies that make $1 billion in revenue, they close studios down. And so we have an
because you can be really hot for a while and then absolutely dead cold.
Right, and that's part of the challenge. And so we have to expect that the first couple of games may not even get noticed.
Okay.
And so that's we have to plan for that and use that as a platform.
Okay.
And just keep going.
Wow.
So.
That takes fortitude to stand up and say you're willing to spend the time and energy and dollars to really take a risk in a very risky business, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Right. It's not for the faint of heart.
No. And I thought this was risky. No, that's great. How can people get in touch with you and learn more, offer suggestions, that sort of thing?
So we're...
The website is marmot.media.
Okay.
And you can contact us through that and get in touch on Facebook.
Okay.
And follow us on Twitter.
And on Twitter, it's My Marmot Media, right?
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, I sent out a notice this morning for the show today, and I put Marmot Media.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason...
Which has got to be somebody else.
Right. The reason we chose My Marmot Media, apart from somebody else taking Marmot Media, is because Marmot Media means community, and that's how you can, to us, game development is community.
Yeah.
Getting together with friends and like-minded people. And so, yeah, if you follow us on Twitter, engage us, we follow back.
Great.
We answer.
Yeah,
and
you guys did to me.
Yeah,
so.
and we want to connect with local businesses and start hosting events.
Okay.
And start preparing builds for people to play and get suggestions. And start that process as soon as we can.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I give it to you, 2 thumbs up, if you will, for taking on a challenge. And here in Spokane, Washington, I love it because sometimes folks from the outside don't think we can do it, but we can. And it just takes that fortitude and the guts to keep going. So thank you, guys. And I learned something today. Hopefully I can retain it, but who knows at my age. But this is interesting. And will you come back in like 4, 5, 6 months and tell us how you're doing, okay?
We'd love to.
And maybe show us a game or something that
Sure.
you're kind of working on or getting feedback. I think that'd be kind of fun for especially young folks who get this and do this a lot. I've got grandkids and others who I know play the games and so forth. So Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Tom Schrum from McNeese Wheeler right after this.
I'm Barbara Mueller.
And I'm Marty Mueller. We have gotten some amazing opportunities to design and build IMAX cameras that were going to go on the space station. We came up with a mechanism that we poured a year into, and we had to start over. The failure resulted in a camera that we got an Academy Award for.
The first shot, when you see Earth from our camera, there is no other moment like it.
Wouldn't have happened without that failure.
So how do you give a kid or even an adult the skills to go forward? The only alternative is to teach them to think, to teach them to explore, take risks, and know that they're going to fall, and they're going to fall on their next great idea.
Gizmo's a makerspace, which is a community laboratory for education and fun.
The cooperation amongst people is the most important thing that we have. And STCU is doing that, and I hope that we're doing that too.
STCU.
Here for good.
Snoring can disrupt marriages and cause serious health problems. Call Sleep Better Northwest first, the experts in dental sleep medicine. Their medically approved, custom-fit oral appliances will have both you and your partner sleeping better and being more productive throughout your day. Don't wait. Snoring and sleep apnea can signal potential strokes or heart attacks. For more information, visit needbettersleepnow.com and download our health guide today. Sleep Better Northwest, the experts in dental sleep medicine.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Back to Spokane Talks live today. 72 degrees outside, sunny, and Pia Hallenberg just walked in, and she'll be on in a couple minutes. But first, we have to talk with Tom.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
The truth is that your boss, Ryan, and I have been talking about the Comey firing last night. And we've gone back and forth a few times. And I sent you an email, but obviously you had left the office and didn't have a chance to look at it, telling you to go in and tell Ryan that we were going to talk about that instead of just to raise his blood pressure a little bit. We won't do that. But Tom, I saw some information this morning, just kind of passed by me real quick, about the Supreme Court and what was it, a patent? A trademark.
It's a trademark case.
Fill us in on that.
Yeah, so there's a trademark case in front of the Supreme Court that has to do with the registration of a band name, and the specific band name is called Slants. Now, that's potentially a slur.
Is that like calling the Japanese Japs back in World War II?
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind
that
of
was all over the headlines of papers and everything else.
Right.
Funny how times have changed, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. And so the band and the way the band is actually the one appealing to the Supreme Court and saying we want to register this. Okay. And their intent behind it is, sorry, I got a little cold. I'm still futzing with, but
we're told to get rid of all the colds.
I know,
before you come
exactly.
in. Okay.
Well, those miracle cures, they don't quite catch up to you. So this band, their intent is, I want to fight this stereotype. I want to fight against this characterization. I want to take back the word.
And they're mainly Asian, aren't they? Many of the members?
All. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
so it's like...
So they're trying to use it as a kind of empowerment, take back the word movement. But there is in the laws, in the trademark laws, you cannot register disparaging marks.
Oh, okay.
And so the big thing is, there's two big issues. One, what's disparaging?
Yeah.
Two,
it's like art. I know when I see it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the Patent and Trademark Office has come up with a definition that they use. But the other thing is, well, how does that square with the First Amendment? Is this a free speech issue? And specifically, the interesting thing about the First Amendment is is the government restricting speech?
Right.
And so there's a couple different arguments.
Yeah.
So the first argument is, okay, if the government doesn't give you a right to exclude others from using this name, is that a restriction on speech? Now, you can still go out and you can still be called the Slants.
But it's getting the trademark.
But you can't get the trademark.
Okay.
So you can continue using it. Like the government's
and no one else is going to get the trademark, apparently.
No, right. But that also means that other people could use the same name.
Ah, okay.
So,
which is the reason for a trademark.
So is not giving a government right restricting speech. Very odd, complex question.
You attorneys get off on these things, don't you?
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's fun. What do words mean? What's more interesting than what does a word mean? Yeah. I mean, that's just what
is the intent?
Right. Right. It's such an existential question that it's just fun.
Oh, God.
And so there's that, and then there's also, what does the word disparaging mean?
Right.
Now, there are registrations for things that are sexual innuendos.
Okay.
And there are some registrations that have gotten through of things you would say walk up to the line. One of the registered trademarks that's out there is "A Black Man Did It." That's a registered federal trademark. Now, your face says that sounds like it's disparaging black people.
Yeah.
But somehow it got through the trademark office.
Okay.
So
it sounds to me, as an outsider, a little arbitrary.
It is a little arbitrary.
Okay.
And that's always a problem when you're dealing with government bureaucracies.
Yeah.
And so it's
because
you have thousands of employees and everyone has a little different
and
interpretation.
It depends whose desk it's landed on and all of that.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just a fascinating case because you have the Constitution, you have statutes, you have government regulations, you have free speech, you have commercial use, you have all these different issues that are coming together in this just.
Where is this in the stream of
it is
Supreme Court?
At the Supreme Court, oral arguments already been had.
Okay.
We're just waiting on the decision.
Okay.
And
okay.
So
was it done in time for the new justice?
Yes,
the oral arguments.
I believe Gorsuch was sitting during these arguments because it was just very recently.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's also one that doesn't split traditional conservative liberal kind of ways. It's a
strange one,
odd one. Yeah.
Okay.
But
odd.
Fun.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, unique is a good word for it. So
still worried about that things like this just get on your agenda and you get into these, but that's a whole nother issue. And folks from Eastern State Hospital will be here to take you home afterwards. No, I'm kidding. Tom, it's good to have you. If people want to talk more about this, learn more about trademarks and all that, because you are the expert here, how do they reach you?
Okay, so you can call us on the phone, of course, 509-928-4141.
And that's a good either landline or cell phone, right?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And so also you can email me at tom@mcneeswheeler.com.
All right, so there aren't two Toms there.
No, just one.
I've heard that one is enough, but that's good. Tom, good to have you here. We should have talked about the Comey thing, but we'll leave that to Ryan.
Next time.
Yeah, next time. Okay. Thanks a lot. We're going to be right back with Pia Hallenberg right after this.
For the Inland Northwest's most comprehensive sports report, think outside the porch with Spokesman.com. For just 99 cents for the first month, you'll enjoy unlimited digital access to the news and sports news that affect you most. From EWU to WSU, from Northwest Preps all the way to the Seahawks, we're the local authority that makes sports in the Inland Northwest different than the rest, better than the rest. On your phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. Subscribe to the digital experience with Spokesman.com.
Hi, this is Kent Adams, co-host of Business Talks. I'd like to introduce you to a couple of friends, Lisa and Alan Gwaltney of Window World. I've known Lisa and Alan for a number of years and know them to be honest and caring folks. They take pride in their windows, sliding doors, and blinds. So when it comes to your home, call them direct at 509-456-5880. That's Window World of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And if you tell them Kent sent me, they'll give you 5% off a 5-window installation. Call them today at 456-5880.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy, reducing carbon emissions by more than 18,000 tons. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. Pia Hallenberg from the Spokesman Review.
Hello.
You spent 9 hours doing something on Sunday. What did you do?
I spent 9 hours covering Bloomsday.
Yeah, I saw lots of
Facebook and everything.
Yeah.
So I love Bloomsday.
Yes.
And I will completely admit that.
Okay.
I probably run the race 8 times, maybe 9 times. I'm not entirely sure. And on Sunday, I got to cover it for the Spokesman Review.
Right.
So we're like, well, we want to do something about the bands and the people who have parties in West Central and all this.
Right.
Well, how are you going to get there? You can't drive in there.
No.
So I rode my bike. I clocked 6 miles on my mountain bike covering the race on Sunday.
Fun. So I think I saw something about
I'm totally sunburned.
your bike and stuff. And then didn't you have one of the first pictures of the
T-shirt?
T-shirts?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I thought.
Yes, I did.
Look what Pia's doing. She's beating everybody else. That's great.
Yeah, it was great. I love Bloomsday, and I can't say enough good about the people who put it on. It's an amazing race.
It really a bunch of dedicated people.
Yes,
of course, Don Cardong is fantastic, but everybody else who's stepped up over the years.
Well, the whole city is part of it. You know, the city of Spokane has to participate. They put the big trucks to block the roads so people can't get in.
Right.
They clean up the streets. They clean up so fast. I cannot believe.
Yeah, and wasn't that a
fast.
picture from you too?
Yes.
Right in front of the building there.
When I came back downtown after my last photos and stuff, they were already picking up the course in front of the Spokesman. It's incredible how quickly they do it.
Wow.
I'm so impressed.
Now I got to ask a question.
Yeah.
when you were riding your bike and stuff and you came back to the newspaper, did you take your bike upstairs or do you park it downstairs, or what do you do with the bike?
Oh, we have a bike rack in front of the building, but I take it upstairs.
Yeah,
so.
I would think with that many people out and so forth. And
no, we
have
a bike rack right in front of the building, and it's actually, and we also have a cage in the back of the building, and there's cameras and everything. So if you want to steal a bike, don't steal it from the Spokesman.
Now the cage, is that for reporters that haven't been
no,
good? Or
no, for the bikes.
For the
so
bikes,
it's real. But I took mine upstairs.
Yeah,
I'm just
good for you.
I like my bike.
Yeah,
so it was fun.
What great coverage from everybody.
Yeah,
at the Spokesman.
it was really good. We worked hard at it, and I think it turned out really well.
Yeah.
I got an email from somebody yesterday who said, "Where's the vulture? What happened to the vulture? You know about the vulture, right?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Huh? What? There was no vulture? Are you kidding me?" But there was a vulture. He just takes a break once in a while.
Yeah.
So I think maybe she ran by when he was taking a break or something. I'm not really sure. But, but he was there.
Isn't that Bill Anderson, or I don't remember his name.
Robinson.
Robinson, yes. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So it was very cool. Very cool. Great race. No problem. Everything went beautifully, smoothly. All good.
Yeah. Well,
a few heart attacks, but nobody died. It's all good.
Yeah. And well, that brings up a good point. We really do have folks out on the course that are there to respond to heart attacks, to blisters, to everything else.
Yeah.
And we really take care of everybody, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
And one of the things, and I didn't get to mention this in one of my stories, but a couple of things about Bloomsday. When people run by the police officers, they thank the police officers for their service.
Nice.
When they run by the fire department or the paramedics, there's high fives and thank you for being here. I have done a lot of road races. When I was younger, I did a lot more than I do now.
Right.
And I have never been at a race where just the
so
feeling...
many people do that?
No, where the feeling is that good.
Yeah.
There's always a few, but most people are just happy and thankful, and I don't know how they do it. If they could bottle that and sell it, it'd be amazing.
I think that's part of Spokane, though, too. Don't you?
But you've been at events that don't go like that.
No,
Come on.
Yeah.
We're not some kind of nirvana out here.
Yeah.
But I'm always left with that feeling that it's really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Now, I'm going to ask you this question because I think you might have an answer this time. You've been toiling with this idea of a story about raccoons.
I will get there.
Or raccoons.
Raccoons. I will get there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so where are you on this?
I may have time to get started now.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You pushed the race out of the way.
And I'm covering some.
The Lilac Festival is coming.
I'm hopefully not getting too involved in that. I think other people will.
We'll have to call Rob on that. No.
Yeah, please don't. I'm gonna have. I hope some more stories about what's going on in Riverfront Park.
Yes, good.
The renovation and all that. I have some more stories.
The waters.
Yeah,
fountain.
Well,
you can only do so much.
No, you can do everything.
Oh, okay. Is that what they tell you?
No.
Oh.
It's all right. It's okay. But it is busy, and I think it's we juggle.
But what is so great? Sorry to interrupt, but what is so great is your excitement, and that of your other staff over there, and what you guys are producing on a daily basis. I just have seen the gauntlet go way up. Things are looking so much better.
Yeah.
We're
all losing weight.
Yeah. No. They're starving you to death or what?
Because we work so hard.
No,
but I mean, a perfect example is yesterday when there was that incident let's call it an incident at Hanford, right?
Yes.
It's early in the morning. There's some sort of incident, some sort of cave in to some kind of tunnel full of nuclear waste or whatever. And we're all standing around looking at each other thinking, okay, Hanford is how many miles away? How many hours to get down there? We got to go. What happened? What do we know?
Right.
And people, especially Becky Kramer, our environmental reporter, she's also our business reporter, just really rallied behind that story. We sent a photographer down there. Colin Mulvaney was down there. Tom Klaus went with him, I think. And everybody worked until late last night to put together a pretty amazing section this morning.
Yeah.
So
it was very good. Yeah.
If you have not seen your Wednesday Spokesman
I've seen
review,
it. I've
you should
only
go
read
get
a
it.
little bit just because of my morning schedule.
It is quite overwhelming. There's a lot of coverage in there about Hanford, but it's important. And one question that we couldn't quite get answered yesterday was exactly how much cleanup has happened, right?
Yeah.
Because remember, it's been turned into like a national monument or something. So they're giving tours now. So we're totally safe down there, right? So I hope we'll get a chance to follow up and talk a little bit about how much cleanup has actually happened, because the pollution was incredible. It was devastating. And it's 20 years ago that they said, okay, we kind of have this under control, don't worry.
Except for cave-in of tunnels and
yeah,
things.
and leakage.
Yeah.
And, I believe they still do this thing where they encase some of the nuclear waste in glass, which is the way to do it, to keep it safe.
So you can watch it?
No, so you don't get sick from standing next to it, and radiation won't get out of it.
Out of the glass?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
So they try to, be safe.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest problem we all have, those of us who live around here, is that I don't think anybody knows exactly how much was dumped in the ground down there.
You're probably right.
For the 50 years or however long they were operating.
Right.
And so we're going to try and see if we can look into that a little bit. Anyway.
Yeah. We have about 1 minute left.
1 minute left.
Yeah, I know. Time goes so darn fast. We got to let you get back to the raccoon story. But
yes.
Yeah.
1 minute, I can say in 1 minute that there was a council meeting in Spokane Valley last night.
Okay.
And one of the things that they didn't talk about, but that Ed Pace and Sam Wood are pushing for, is term limits.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll see that on the agenda on one of these days. And they would like to see the terms limited to 2 per council member.
Okay.
So you can serve twice and then you're done.
Okay.
There's the pros are that you get new blood, quote unquote, and the cons are, well, you also lose some experience every time somebody who's been there for a while leaves.
But if you stagger that, theoretically, that might help.
Yeah, that might help. But, the seats out there are not necessarily hotly contested.
No.
So you may also end up in a situation where nobody
applies
for an open seat.
Right.
So we'll see. It's just a conversation.
Okay.
It's not set in stone. It's just a conversation. So I hope that shows up here one of these days.
Okay, so it'll come up for discussion and vote in the next month, probably?
I don't know. It has to get on the agenda first.
Okay.
And I have not seen it on the agenda. It was not on the agenda last night. So we'll see.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Great job this weekend. Good
Yeah.
to see you. You're coming up for the epilepsy run walk in a couple weeks.
Yes,
You're going to be the PA announcer.
I am.
On the 17th?
17th of June.
Okay, all
right.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Not the 7th.
Ryan will call if you got it wrong. Ryan will call.
Will.
No, it's the
He will.
17th.
All
so.
right. Thanks,
Thank
Pia.
you.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
Is your child having trouble coping with a personal disability, but don't know where to go? Consider our friends at
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. Still 72 outside, I think, isn't it, Kevin? Oh, he'll have to look. 76,
Ooh,
76
it's a heat wave.
trombones. We won't say.
No.
Don Morgan, Independent Wealth Connections. How are you?
Good. I'm
Good.
warm. It's warm out there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, all right.
56 tomorrow.
56.
Yeah, 76 to 56.
20-degree temperature
that's
change.
my prediction.
Welcome to Spokane, Washington,
Oh,
right?
no kidding.
Right. Hey, I don't even know what we're going to talk about. You come with an agenda item, and I've been doing a show here, so I have no idea. What are we going to talk about?
The robots are coming.
The robots?
And they're coming for my job.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to hire
Will
a
it be
robot,
a much better looking robot than what I'm seeing now? Oh, well, not bad.
Not bad.
Oh, it's the robots on the left.
Yeah, no.
Okay. No, not
the client.
Not the young lady. Okay.
Yeah. So you have the ability now to go and hire an electronic robot online, and you fill out a form, and then you give them the same stuff you'd give me.
Okay.
And it goes through a number of questions and tests with you, and then it says, okay, give me money and I'll invest it for you.
You're not joking, are you?
Oh, no, I'm not joking.
Okay.
Look, accountants have been dealing with TurboTax for 25 years now.
Okay.
Architects have been dealing with, Architects Online and
CAD programs and everything else that.
Yep. So, in a way, and lawyers, robot lawyers are out there.
Right.
All right. So, of course, there's a robot financial advisor. The question, though, is it the right thing to do for you and your family? And
right.
If you're 24 years old and you're investing your first few $100, maybe.
Yeah.
But the robot won't really know you because guess what? It's not alive.
Yeah.
It won't know your family is like. It won't know what your long-term goals really are. You check boxes.
Yeah, but
it has no judgment. It has rules.
Okay.
And none of these robots have been tested in a market downturn.
Yeah.
So when the day comes when we get in 1978, a 20+% drop in one day.
Okay.
Will those programs sell you to cash and then the next day not get you back in when the market goes back up, locking in that 20% loss?
Okay.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We really don't know. So,
yeah, and one of the things that a person can do, I'm thinking, okay, let's take, if you're listening to me, and yes, I can give you the answers that you need and so forth of, yes, I want to do this, no,
right.
family, on and on and on. But maybe somewhere in the conversation, hey, when I retire, I want to do a online radio and TV station,
right.
okay? But I happen to mention that. The robot's not even going to pick up on that, much less ask the question.
You won't have the conversation.
And dig down to it.
Right.
What? My gosh, Kent, what do you mean?
What's that going to do to your family, your retirement plan? So there's legitimate questions about these devices. I think there's a limited utility.
Yeah.
Some of the big firms are trying to take their little accounts and push things to that.
Okay, sure.
It's one of the reasons we're independent. We think that people deserve to have people answering their questions.
Oh, what a novel idea.
It's, I got to tell you, it's a different world out there today.
Yeah, it is.
And
it's only going to get more different, isn't it?
By the day, by the hour.
Really?
Yeah. It's amazing to me how fast the pace of change is.
And I think you're right when you talk about for someone who maybe only has a couple $100 a month or something, it's pretty elementary where you ought to put it and so forth. Okay. But maybe as you get into late 20s or so, you maybe now know where you might want to go and so forth.
Or you get a windfall, you have a large check come in. We have a 23-year-old who's got a windfall that they've never had this much money in their life.
Yeah.
And I can tell you this, they would not trust a robot with it. They really want to sit down with a human being.
Right.
And have someone listen to them, listen to their fears.
Right.
I mean, there's a little bit of psychology in our world.
Absolutely.
But it's interesting to watch in every business that I go into today, there's two things that are true in every one of them. One is that robotics are playing a role in some fashion. Second is that government regulation is playing a role in some fashion.
Yes.
And
both are going to increase, I'm afraid.
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of wave theories out there.
Okay.
And you've heard the pendulum theory. The pendulum swings to the left and then it swings to the right.
Right now, the left doesn't like the idea that it's swinging to the right, but that's a whole other topic.
Well, but that fits into the regulatory infrastructure. If we do get more of a federalist system instead of a unitary government system,
right,
you might be able to vote with your feet and say, this state is better for me than that state.
Right, right.
So
it's a crazy world, Don. How can people learn more? Because you've got a newsletter, you've got information, you've got a lot up here in terms of connections.
Watch Spokane Talks online.
Okay.
Visit our website at independentwealthconnections.com or call me at 931-1088.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
All right. Good to see you.
Stay cool out there.
All right. We're going to take. We're not going to take a break. We're going to take a break until next week. At this time, a week-long break. Have a great week. Enjoy this sunshine today. Tell the boss you're going outside. Okay. Take care.
Spokane Talks Live is produced in Spokane, Washington by Spokane Talks Online LLC, which is solely responsible for its content. To recommend a guest or topic, or to see this program again, please visit our website, SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Join us next Wednesday, noon, for another nourishing conversation on Spokane Talks Live.